All right. So I wish to thank also Dr. Jean for her interesting presentation. And I want to tell you also one thing, that I'm not a magician or a Superman. I'm also learning, same as you. I started a bit maybe in early 2019. And because of the pandemic also, we were all hindered and we didn't do much progress in terms of meeting patients and treating. So I would like to share my experience with Edelweiss. Whatever I went through, I feel like it is worth to share it with you, and maybe you will get some point. Actually, I also learned today from Dr. Jean some points that I wanted to cover, some points that I was also not very sure about, and whatever that I may apply for next patients and so on. So without further ado, I will also go very fast to my history and who am I. I'm from Baghdad, from beautiful city of Baghdad. I graduated from Baghdad University, Faculty of Dentistry, College of Dentistry, we call it, in 2004. And I moved to Malaysia in 2006 and until now. So Malaysia became my second home. And I like Malaysia very much. So I started master in 2007, I think I started officially. Then I finished by 2009. And after this, after a while, I started the PhD and I worked in Massa University. Then I moved to Segi University until now. Okay, so this is my introduction. I would like also to highlight that I have no conflict of interest with Edelweiss. I'm not actually working in Edelweiss, or I have any payment from Edelweiss to present. I am a person who like to learn everyday new thing, and I want to experiment. So that's why I feel I'm interested to learn more and try. And that's why I had interest in Edelweiss. I'm not sponsored, as I mentioned there, by Edelweiss or any proxies. And also treating cases in Seki also, I have no incentives or maybe something special to push the case to Edelweiss. No, there is a logic behind that I'm going to explain soon for you, and I wish that you agree with me for the ideas, and you can also do the same thinking. And so this presentation is just simply sharing experience, sharing whatever opinion I have adopted, and sharing my knowledge and also the honest advice that I came with, to extend my whatever knowledge to get benefit to everyone who's interested among you. And I wish that all of you are having the interest, same as me and maybe more, to learn more and to make full usage of whatever facilities available. So the story started actually with me when I started to see cases, and I'm sure that all of you have seen such cases, when you have a patient who still have a vital tooth, natural tooth, after an accident or after some whatever happened. This patient, for example, he had an accident. And after that motorbike accident, he lost some tooth structure, but luckily teeth are still vital and we can restore them. But as we all know, when we restore with normal composite, there will be some consequences. First of all, it will be by repeated breakage of the restoration, whatever we do for the patient. So there will be, especially when you have such malaligned lower anterior teeth, and you can see the bite is a bit deep. So the patient will be very fast predicting that the restoration will be breaking and discoloring. It will not be good for the patient also, and it will not be something that you can guess in the future. So what we had to do before I knew Edelweiss, what we had to do, we had to go for crown. So the options that we have ceramic veneers, which again is going to cut a natural healthy tooth structure, or maybe you have to do crowns, or maybe we can go for composite veneers, which is like the option, as I told you, it's not very much good for the patient also. It's not going to survive also. So there was a gap. I noticed that there was a gap between the two. The extreme of composite veneer with direct or indirect, whatever we have, it will have discoloration, it will have shrinkage, it will have problems that we all know about composites. And when I called also one of the labs, which he wrote in his price list, he wrote that I have indirect composite veneer. So I called him and I said, okay, can you, because also this patient also informed me that he's not affordable, he cannot pay for the ceramic veneers and the proper like full crown. He's not affording to pay that much. So he want to have a cheaper solution, a solution that is suitable for his condition in that time. Maybe he was a student or something. So I tried to search for whatever solution available. I called that lab who put in his bracelets the indirect composite veneer. But I was shocked also when the lab told me I'm not doing this anymore because of the repeated complaints by the dentist. Whoever I'm giving, they are complaining of discoloration, they're complaining of whatever marginal integrity. So I stopped. I decided to stop this kind of treatment and this kind of service. So again, what to do? Same like many of the dentists, I had to cut the crown. Of course, I took the consent from the patient and informed him that this much of tooth structure, regretfully, we will lose in order to sustain the tooth. And I had the option suggestion also by technician. He said, we have the PMMA crown, polymetallic crown, which is between the expensive ceramic veneers and also between the composite veneers. So we proceed all the plan for the patient as regular with all lab work, and that's also consuming time. And then the PMMA came. It looks nice, but only unicolor. It's not very transparent, not very aesthetic, unicolor. But then after this, I cemented. That was in 2000, I think, 17 for this patient. Patient was happy because it's restored his smile and it's okay. So he was happy with this. And until now, no complication, nothing. He didn't contact me, there's no complication. I contact him from time to time. He's okay with it. So he's happy with it. But I would say this is not the best aesthetic solution we can give to the patient. If we have another option, why not? Same happens for this patient. This patient, he had a previous crown and something happened with this crown. He had a problem. So, okay, I refined. The crown fell down and some fracture happened also to the ceramic. So I refined the preparation. But then he said, I don't like my other two teeth. So what to do? I don't want to cut healthy teeth structure just to give beautiful teeth matching with the other teeth. So I decided to put ceramic veneers, or it was, in that case, it was zirconia veneers. So again, I cut healthy teeth structure, amount that I feel guilty for. I removed a significant amount of tooth in order to give the space for the zirconia to fill and make it aesthetic as possible. So yeah, this is the outcome came for the patient. But there is a gap. Why are we doing that much cutting for healthy teeth just to improve the aesthetic? I know that veneer, direct composite veneer is giving some bad feedback from people, but maybe there was some solution. So here comes when we started to knew about Edelweiss. I feel I'm very lucky that I met Mr. Hong and Wilson, Mr. Wilson. He told me that we are inviting Dr. Stefan to come to Malaysia for a talk. Would you like to meet him? Would you like to listen to his talk? So the idea came to my mind, why not I invite him to Segi? He come to give a talk to Segi and we meet him. And luckily he agreed, and he's a very generous person. He agreed to come and he gave a talk in January in Segi, and we were very privileged to attend this talk and to meet him. He's a very brilliant person. He's innovative and he's really keen to justify and explain many treatment plans and things. So I consider him as the mentor, actually. Whenever I see his videos, I'm watching three or four times to learn as much as possible from him. And then as everybody, almost everybody here, I think you are curious and we want to know whether these claims are bubbles or they are true claims. So I went to search in the background. Is this whatever he's claiming? I know him, he's a nice person, but I want to know if he's also having background or whatever he's claiming. So I found the patent and I was reading through. It's very boring, actually very long, but then I found, yes, the centered laser centered vitrified glass is not a myth. It's something true. It's different from the composite, the normal composite. And it behaves differently, but very close to the natural tooth behavior, which is something unique also. Now, if we put replacement very, very much strong and very much different from the natural tooth, that is also a mistake, because if the battle means the bite will happen between that very strong material against the natural tooth, then the natural tooth will lose the battle. So we have to find as much as possible the ideal solution that is behaving in physical stress, same or maybe very close to the natural tooth, in order to give more longevity and more good behavior that we expect. So in the consequence of luck also, we had the chance to meet Mr. Martin Lampol. He's a master dental technician. He's Dr. Stefan's brother. He came in August to Segi also. We were very privileged to meet him also, to give us a hands-on exposure, how to manage, how to do the occlusal veneer especially, that is useful to restore not only aesthetic, also it will restore the occlusion. And I was also having this question in my mind: when are the times we need really this occlusal veneer? When I know that some teeth, especially non-vital teeth, massively distracted teeth, they cannot survive only by putting occlusal restoration. How about the walls? How about the overall tooth structure? So I was having this question in my mind. Edelweiss, as they mention, as they pronounce it, Edelweiss, is it the best solution that can solve all the problems for all the patients, or there are limitations for that? That was my question. So when we met Mr. Lampol and we learned from him, it was also a very good exposure. We learned on mannequins, we learned on models, and we started to discuss questions and answers. And I noticed some brilliant names of attendees here in this webinar. They already came to this workshop. I hope you have good memories of that meeting. So after this, I started to learn and see the videos, and I started to put more interest on it. And I, yes, agree with what Dr. Jean was mentioning. I had to see what is the scientific background, what is the behavior of this composite, processed composite, I would call it, processed composite material, and how is it behaving, how is it going to do. So, and also how to choose the shade, how to choose the size. The sizes are actually not many, but they are made brilliantly. So I try to challenge whatever is projected. I think you all share with me the same concept. When we hear something, we don't just take it easily. We have to understand, we have to process, we have to challenge. Then only if we find the evidence, then only we can start to be convinced. I don't know, it's very lucky or otherwise, whatever I'm checking and verifying, I find the evidence supporting. So I was trying also many casts. Actually, my study, master and PhD, was much about cast analysis. So I have so many casts, so I can try. So I went through the shade guide, the size guide. I found, yeah, it's matching many. However, I learned also, we are learning every day. So I learned also some cases, those who have diastema, maybe we can mix. For example, if I choose small size teeth and only for the central incisors, I want to put some bigger, wider teeth, I can choose L size or M size, central incisors only. So that's the unique and beautiful thing about Edelweiss. It comes as packages. Every one single shell of veneer, it comes as a separated package that you can open it by tweezer and take it out. It's not like full set. You can choose, you can mix. And the beautiful thing also, this is the enamel, which is transparent and unicolor, one color. And then you can mix with whatever you have shades. Then you can make exactly the shade that you want. And also the flexibility, the beautiful flexibility here. You don't have to use only Edelweiss composite below this enamel. You can mix, you can use, but of course it's advised to use the nano hybrid composite for the fillers amount and for the strength and the resistance. Okay, so I know it's very boring to talk about dental materials, but we have to believe together, we have to go through together, and I invite you also to go for further investigation to check that whatever is claimed, is it true or not, and you can test also yourself. Okay, so what Edelweiss solution also was telling through my readings and videos, I noticed that it is covering so many things, including like malaligned spaced teeth, malaligned teeth like those who have crowding, those who have like mesial tilted tooth, whatever, buccally positioned tooth. So this is also managed by Edelweiss. If the patient refuses to go for ortho treatment or whatever extensive invasive treatment, Edelweiss can solve this, because it's a beautiful shell that you can put whatever you restore earlier. I mean, whatever you restore in behind the tooth, you can put this shell to cover and make it shiny, beautiful, and nice, and resistant to discoloration and resistant to fracture also. If you have spaces also, or anesthetic teeth, including diastema closure, that's also managed. You can see the videos, how brilliant, how beautiful they made it. We're all learning actually, and myself, including myself. I didn't do only one diastema closure, and it was very small diastema. I don't consider it very challenging using it otherwise, but I'm keen to try like the videos they show. Raising the vertical dimension of occlusion in healthy teeth. Now, this is the question. This is the take that I believe it's something unique about Edelweiss. If you want to raise the vertical dimension, if you have teeth that already crowned or a part of a bridge, and the patient really need to have the raise, and patient is willing to sacrifice the current crown or something happened, then we have to change crown by crown. Although there are videos and some references by the brilliant doctors who are using Edelweiss. I'm not brilliant, maybe not yet. They are using replacement for the crown using Edelweiss. And there is a long history. They show long success rate also, which is like 5 years and 7 years success without complications. But I'm a person who like to play safe. So I would go for any crown, replace it by a crown if I want to raise the bite. But what is going to happen for natural, healthy, intact teeth adjacent to that crown tooth? Am I going to cut them again and feel guilty? Edelweiss came here to answer. I can just put occlusal veneer and that's it. So it will be functioning naturally, nicely, without being worried that this veneer will fracture or something will happen, or maybe the surface is not going to be functioning well. Also, it will be managing periodontally compromised teeth. I think there is a very interesting article by Dr. Claudio. I think you will be able to access it, and it's very interesting actually. You can manage this aesthetically and also, let's say, dynamically. You are retaining the teeth, you are making them functioning properly and giving them a chance to survive for a longer time. I would say longer time because there's no reverse periodontal disease. It will only go in one direction. Okay, so this is also using Edelweiss. Managing ortho history complication patients who are frustrated after ortho relapse. They don't want to go for ortho anymore. They don't want to do any further invasive treatment, and they refuse to have whatever invasive solutions. You can suggest to them Edelweiss, and it will solve that problem actually. Manage single missing tooth using fiber reinforced composite tape. I've seen videos. I've tried actually one case with my student, and it was good. When the patient doesn't complain for many years, that is a good indication sometimes, because if the patient has any problem, he or she will come and start to buzz you and tell you this is failed. Okay. Again, I started to compare also when we are actually, as a university, we are charging the least possible, which is literally the cost of the material. Actually, we are charging the patient for two reasons. Because we want to make it educational direction, not for profit direction. So we are actually pushing the case towards the basic thing in order to give exposure to the students and to whoever want to learn actually, including lecturers. So it will be basic cost. So that's why I don't think anyone in Malaysia, I converted into US dollar also for those who are not in Malaysia to understand the cost. We are actually charging very, very minimum, no profit, actually literally no much profit, it's just the materials. And also for Edelweiss also, 300 ringgit per unit, compared to 650, which is also very minimum to conventional crown as a flat rate, including the lab fees. This is like rough, because lab fees also, we have some different rates. I took the average. Now, the time to prepare any crown, including the impression and excluding the sending and receiving, so just impression and making temporary and so on, will be average as 2 hours. And also, if the student, they will take longer, because students, especially those who are like not very much expert, third or second case or even fourth case, but they are not expert, they will take longer time. Compared to Edelweiss veneer, it will take 1 hour or less as maximum, because I think when you saw Dr. Jean showing the step-by-step, whatever you want to make it relaxed and repeat it again, it will not consume much time. It's just try and do etching, do bonding, and slowly cut and make the margins nice, and that's it. So cost in the material, if you want to do like porcelain or zirconia, the materials, including impression material, temporary material, I'm taking the minimum cost and not compromising the quality, of course, but we are always trying to buy in sale. We are always trying to buy whenever the material is in the cheapest situation, when they have the year-end sale and so on. So that's why the cost may be 100 ringgit. That's minimum we can do. And again, for the Edelweiss, I also calculated as average because occlusal veneers and facial veneers and six sets or 8 sets, they have different prices. So I took the average 235. Lab fees for the zirconia or the porcelain, they will also charge average 500. Sometimes they are increasing, sending emails saying that this year we are going to increase and so on. So when I calculated all together, I found that we are saving actually. We are saving having Edelweiss veneers, especially when the patient is having more than 4 or 6 or maybe 12 anterior upper and lower veneers. We are saving actually. Now take this example for a private clinic, private practice, you will be actually making good business for this. But my limitation for that, I would say, not every case can be treated with Edelweiss. This is my opinion. You can use it actually, but if you want to play safe and you want to have a very good survival rate, you have to plan very well. You have to choose carefully the cases. So when you choose the case, you will have very good outcome. Okay, now how to start? If I'm a beginner and I didn't start with Edelweiss, I think that the best and the most safe way to do is to start by the Edelweiss WhatsApp group. We established a group, not for a long time, not since a long time, but this group actually is very, very useful because the objective is to share knowledge and to build confidence. And maybe before I start, I can post my pre-operative pictures and ask experts. Those experts are dedicating by volunteering themselves to help you. So here is the spirit. We have actually the intention to help each other. There's no other reasons. So once we have this spirit, we can really make something. If I'm not confident, I have a case. As you can see here, this case, actually, this was posted by Dr. Claudio. I really admire his courage. I don't dare to do such extensive treatment or bold treatment options that he's doing, but I want to learn from him. I wish to meet him in person and learn from him. So when he shared this case, we started to ask, Doctor, what do you expect from this? What are you going to do? What is the technique? What is the material? And also, whatever we have complication, for example, I polished the surface and I found that it's not going to be shiny anymore. So what is the best polishing system? And so on. So this WhatsApp group, maybe before you start, you can just be there, listen and see the pictures, see the discussions, and maybe you can participate in debate. Then you get your first case, then you share, and that will be very helpful. So what you can have out of this cases, materials, techniques, solutions that they can give you, you can do A, B, C, and then you can choose, make the patient also to help you to choose, and you can debate whatever point that you don't believe, or maybe you can bring articles, and you can show evidence and whatever there. Troubleshooting, if you have any complication happen, how is it going to happen, and so on. I believe this is very healthy and a safe environment to make you feel protected when you're doing the first time or maybe beginner as Edelweiss user. Then after this, join any of the workshops on hands-on training, like the one that we had with Dr. Martin, Mr. Martin. But what happens is now we have lockdown, we have limited movement because of the virus. So maybe we'll try, we are now waiting for this to open again, and slowly, hopefully we can get the chance to meet up again, and we have these trainings which are giving us much boost to start the treatment. So I will believe that the training is not only to show you how to make the Edelweiss, to put it on the tooth. No, actually it needs also to know about smile design, because you're touching the aesthetic part, aesthetic cases. Now, smile design is very important sometimes when the patient is already having malaligned teeth or maybe asymmetrical teeth because of the earlier composite veneers or whatever. You need to make a smile design for the patient. You need to do occlusal analysis. And then, of course, whatever you do, you cannot prove it, you cannot show it, you cannot talk about it without proper photography. So dental photography will be included, simple things, simple basic things, and all the options of ready-made cameras and the professional cameras and even mobile camera, how to make optimum use of it to get your case documented, how to report the case, how to keep it in your documents. Because as a dentist, if you only practice, but without record, you cannot show, you cannot actually improve. So if you have case reports also, that will be very helpful documentation and follow up for the case. You can also show the patient before and after and so on. And then variation in techniques, when you can hybrid different techniques for the same patient in treatment. Now you have to read also articles and watch the related videos like the ones that Dr. Jean just showed. And I'm really interested to see more and more videos. I wish to see every dentist video, how he managed or she managed the case, to learn more, because every day we learn something new. And then you have to choose your case, careful selection and plan. You can share the plan in WhatsApp group. We will all help you. Then you can start simple case. That's how you start. And then post the case for the others to learn. And then again, the loop will start again. So this is actually going to be a learning curve. When we are learning and we start the first step there, we will be on a safe side. So if you have the basic knowledge and you have the chance to do the typodont or model trial on the case, on whatever simulation case given to you, and then you select the case wisely, you are actually on the right path to make it perfect and make it nice. And it is accumulated experience. So don't panic for the first case. First case I started, I was very scared. And yes, I had, if I have the chance to do it again, I will do it better, of course. But I couldn't meet the patient again until now. I'm waiting for the lockdown to open to talk about, and I'll show you the case also later.